Alright guys, TacticalRab here again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Another emergency video here on the Valorant channel, and for good reason. All 30 partner teams for next year's VCT have been confirmed. Some surprises, some big organisations of course missing out on this one across all the regions we shall dive into. But one of the big topics has been OpTic Gaming, runner-up at the Grand Finals of the World Championships just a few days ago, not getting a spot here in the Franchise League. What does that mean for their team? Will they go as a 5 elsewhere? That does not seem to be the case. Crashies and Victor saying yes, they're looking to effectively leave the organisation and go to a new horizon, which almost certainly means this team is breaking apart. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you are new as always. I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that one. Get like 500 subs in the last day. So let's get another 500 tonight. Firstly, Sentinels, they're here to stay, of course, qualified. Just to note quickly that Zellsis appears here, as in fairness does Shrouds. But of course, Zellsis is not part of Sentinels as it stands. He went back to version 1, but V1 didn't get a spot, Sentinels did. So I do wonder whether, given that turn of events, they will get Zellsis' services back in business again, right? And maybe this isn't indicating that, but definitely something to consider regardless. Now look, obviously earlier in the day, people were wondering which teams have got in, which teams have not. Xerxia seems to have not got a spot in the Valorant Partnership Program in the Pacific side. We'll see that here in a second. And people were still wondering what's going to happen with the remaining North American spot, right? It's EG that get it alongside Crew, Leviathan, MIBR, Sen, Cloud9, NRG, 100T, Fury at Loud. That's what the rumor as it was at the time. But I mean, yeah, really interesting, right? A lot of these organizations that you know, got into Valorant early doors, invested a lot in, especially the North American scene, let's just say, for several, well, a couple of years at this point, and you know, they've been cast aside, right? Now, of course, it makes sense to some degree. Like the teams that got selected, like it's understandable. You can definitely justify the selections, but it can be difficult to justify why some organizations have not been selected, especially when, you know, EG come along, haven't really achieved much in Valorant, of course, do have a good tenured history outside of that, and of course, like the financials, that side of things, you know, the marketing, whatever, like these are key factors for right in their consideration. But it's remarkable to think about what 2 of the top 4 teams from Champions are not going to be in franchising next year. The OpTic versus Loud rivalry is now gone forever, effectively, despite how good it was this past season. So T1 also sources suggesting they're going to be part of the partnership program in the Pacific. That of course makes sense, and even Gen.G was talked about at the time. Not too long after that, everything was officially confirmed here by VALORANT Esports. They've done an article on it, but here we go, the 30 teams in. Now, of course, worthy of note for sure is that teams that don't get in here can still, if they feel like it's feasible financially, if you're an OpTic or if you're, you know, an organization like that, the Guard, if they feel like it's feasible financially and it makes sense for them to keep a team going in the tier 2 scene and trying to qualify through Ascension to get into franchising next year, then yeah, they can of course do exactly that. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if many of these organizations that kind of, you know, bet it all on getting into franchising maybe now feel like, well, it's not actually a good business decision to grind tier 2 when the chances of winning that Ascension tournament to get to be part of the VCT for a couple of seasons is also far from guaranteed whether you'll actually be able to achieve that, right? So all the eggs certainly cannot go in that basket. But here we go, 2023 VCT teams. This is the Americas, 100T, Cloud9, EG, Fury Crew. Not sure why they split it up here, not really by regions. I'll show it on a better kind of explanation here actually on their website itself. So here we go, they explain everything. These are the 10 organizations, only 5, which is so incredible really to think about, that only 25 North American players will actually be in this entire league. Now, there could be more, of course, if they go to different teams. For example, if a European team wants to pick a certain player up, let's say they really want Ye and, like, I don't know, Fnatic player, or it's not going to happen, obviously, it doesn't make any sense with the roles, but you guys know what I mean. An organization could pay an extreme amount of money for Ye and you know, get him playing in a different region entirely, right? But when it was initially rumored that there was only going to be 8 North American organizations, I thought that was incredibly slim. Then it was 7, then it was 6, now it's 5. So honestly incredible. And even one of these was meant to be G2, I think. And I think honestly the rumor had it that Leviathan got the spot instead of G2. So it would have been maybe like you know, 6 organizations that would have been representing NA. Now it's only 5. Fury, Loud, MIBR, Crew, Leviathan. Like of course we talked about many organizations from the top of the North American scene that haven't made it unexpectedly. Now Europe I think made sense. The surprise to me though is Heretics, Giants and Koi all getting in from EMEA, and of course all Spanish teams, and Berlin International Gaming, Big, have not, right, which is surprising to me. I thought that Big did a great job in Valorant, like of course with God B and stuff like that, giving it a good go. Surprised they got rejected personally, but that's what they decided to do. A lot of Spanish representation, understandably, but the league is based in Berlin, right, so you don't even have, you know, Berlin International gaming as an organization, why not just base the league in Barcelona if you're going to do that? But I guess it's the head of, you know, Riot's kind of operations from the European perspective. And then here we go with the APAC side with, look, some organizations I will admit I'm not overly familiar with. Detonation Gaming, believe a Japanese org. Of course, like Zeta, Gen.G, T1, DRX, Team Secret, PaperX, great to see they made it in because, of course, FPX did not, as well, of course, we just kind of skipped over a bit. Like, yeah, FPX not appearing here. And then we've got this RRQ organization, Talent Esports. Talent might be representing Thailand, and then I think Global Esports might be the Indian team that have, well, let's just say had not that much success, but cool to see for the region. So, of course, there's some positives here. There are certainly some negatives here, and it's crazy to think about. These are the top-rated teams from North America as it stands, and one of these is actually going to get a spot next year. OpTic, no. xNed, no. FaZe the Guard, no. It's 100T, the only one out of these 5. So, Sensei, that means we're going to Brazil, right? So, yes, indeed confirmed that Sentinels are in, but, I mean, yeah, many big organizations missing out. xNed, of course, was expected to miss out, but they do want to stay together as a team. They want to go to a new org. As we said earlier today, Sentinels, they're not going to just pick up an entire roster of 5. They're going to, like, build around some of their current guys, pick a couple of free agents up, and there could be 2 key free agents here on the market in a second they might want to consider. But, you know, xNed, they want to stay together as a team. As I said earlier today, that even with a team like OpTic, it's just unlikely that happens because organizations are going to want to build around their star players, build in some pieces elsewhere. We've seen this in other times when things franchise, that even the best team won't necessarily stay together, and that looks like it's the case with OpTic, as we shall see. Now, of course, FPX in a similar boat. Like, of course, their entire roster probably wants to stay together. They did good things. They would like to run it back, but they're not going to be able to run it back with an organization because FPX didn't get selected. So now they're looking for other offers from other organizations, potentially within Europe or whatever, to pick these guys up and sign them. Or is it more likely that, you know, guys like Artis or whoever get poached elsewhere? So it's like, this is the craziest rostermania period you're ever going to see. Everyone is a free agent, and even some of the players that are in the franchise league are free agents based on the way their deals are standing right now. And this is one example. After all the G2 shenanigans, them trying to get to Europe, then getting the NA spots, then it gets rejected based on the whole Carlos drama. Now all of G2 are now effectively free agents, right? I'm guessing restricted free agents, because as he describes, he's still under contract to G2. There would be like a buyout involved, but yeah, Mixwell, a free agent, Avova, Nuki, these guys from G2, they are all free agents, like open for accessibility elsewhere, and I'm sure people are going to be hitting up Mixwell's DMs, right? So, I mean, yeah, craziness how this has all gone down. Now, this is the OpTic part of the puzzle, which I think is still quite remarkable to me. So, earlier today, I said that I would probably think it's more likely than not that these OpTic guys break apart as a team. Despite how good they've been, they want to stay together, I guess, but like, I'm sure they realize the reality of the situation, that is rather unlikely to happen given the way this is going to go, especially because they're not all under the same deal. Like, if all 5 of them were under the same arrangement precisely, they could just get all bought out as a 5. As it is, though, Victor and Crashies are now unrestricted because their contracts have expired, so they can go wherever they want. The other guys need to get bought out of the team, unless, of course, you know, Hex does another Hex thing and lets them go for free, but I doubt that's going to happen in this particular situation, given how valuable those players will be, and there will be a market for them. But Victor and Crashies, they can now go. Now, Victor actually says here, specifically, unrestricted free agent with Crashies for 2023, so implying really that it's going to be a 2-man deal. Victor and Crashies, like, been a duo for a long period of time. They will go somewhere probably as a team of 2. Now, will they go as a team of 2 with Marved, Ye, and FNS to another organization? I doubt it, right? And even we get the replies implying this is the case, because Ye says, good luck, my guy, thanks for all the memories this year, will be something I remember forever. And then even Marv says, good luck, my boy, no one will ever hold down showers just like us. And even FNS says, what do you mean free agent? So he's kind of saying, like, please, like, don't go. But I mean, yeah, Ye and Marv seem kind of resigned to the idea that these guys are going to leave as a package deal, and everyone's going to effectively move on. Even as Crashy says, what a ride this has been, saying, like, thanks to the organization, Hastra, Hex, everyone, but they didn't get a spot for whatever reason. It's still a surprise to me, but it is what it is. OpTic didn't get through, and like, therefore, of course, their organization could stick around in tier 2, but obviously not with these players, right? These players are going to go to tier 1 organization somewhere else, and FNS is like, you know, come on, like, don't move on or whatever. But I mean, yeah, these other guys seem to be resigned to the possibility of this being the case. So yes, Victor and Crashies seem to be a team of 2, leaving OpTic, going elsewhere, and of course, like, they're thankful for their time with OpTic, and it's crazy to think about all the rivalries and stuff that are now coming to an end here. But where will Victor and Crashies go? As I say, they could go with Ye or whoever from the team as well, but yeah, I don't know. If I'm Sentinels right now, and I'm looking at Victor and Crashies as a team of 2 on the market, and they're also not like a team of 2 as in we have to buy them out. They're both unrestricted. Their contracts are at an end. They can go where they want. They can take the highest bidder. That's why I guess they feel confident to be a team of 2, like I'm looking for 3 effectively, because they can say, well, look, we're unrestricted. We can go wherever there are offers, and you know, do Sentinels, for example, given like, you know, in those particular roles, they might not have had the best players recently, at least in terms of like real top caliber players. Victor and Crashies as a duo alongside TenZ over on like over on Sentinels, that's an interesting option. So I think a lot of teams are going to have to consider this, but of course those other guys from OpTic are also going to be on the table, as are guys like Valin from the guard, for example. As he says, the guard was denied, therefore they've allowed me to explore opportunities. He's of course he's going to be a restricted free agent. They're going to look for a buyout for Valin, but even guys of his caliber, great player for the guard. How many IGL roles really are there out there? You've got the likes of FNS, of course 100 Thieves have Stellar as it stands, like you've got these other teams as well. Like there's only 5 IGL roles from North America in the entire league, right, all across the world. Is Valin a top 5 IGL in North America? And even sometimes organizations like that will bring in like European IGLs and stuff to kind of round out rosters. So it's a chaotic situation, but everyone's getting caught up in it. Pretty much everyone is a free agent right now as well, so I'm not going to be able to cover every single tweet because there are just too many to discuss. I'm sure we'll talk about it more tomorrow, but again, that's the situation as it stands. OpTic looking like they're going to break apart, and that these are just some of the many organizations that failed to make it through for next season, and the rostermania is going to be crazy, right? I'm sure already these orgs have some idea, like 100 Thieves I think have done some tweets implying that maybe Asuna is going to be staying, but things are so precarious and so changeable that we really have no idea, at least for probably even a couple of weeks, as to actually what these rosters are going to look like. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll do my best to keep you guys updated. Hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching as always, take care, and I'll see you next time.